Bienvenidos. Welcome to La Super Comadre Claudia show with your host, Claudia. So I am super excited to be here because I am alive. I'm just breathing and taking each day as it comes as I continue to recover 100% from this COVID. And sometimes I take 5 steps forward and 5 steps back, but you know what? I'm continuing to learn every day how to just embrace this pace that I need to take, which is taking it slow, reserving my energy, reaching out for help when I need it. And also, just sharing what I'm going through, because you know me, all of you that have known me, you see me as who I am. I'm loud, I'm outgoing, I connect, but it's been hard not being able to do that 100% because I need to accept that I'm still recovering and that it's okay. So aquí estoy, gracias a Dios, un día más, y ojalá que Dios me dé licencia para mañana, pero aquí estoy con mi show de la Super Comadre Claudia, y qué gusto me da de tener a una nueva Super Comadre. Y también me da gusto tener a Liliana como colega, como la persona detrás de los controles y enfrente de los controles también con su show, ¿verdad? Y también les quiero decirles que a toda la gente que ha pasado por COVID o a lo mejor lo perdieron a alguien de su familia a esta enfermedad, o usted ha pasado y ya fue afectado, ¿verdad? De su salud o su trabajo. Nomás les quiero decir que agradezco todas las palabras que me han dado, todas the well wishes, se dice, las palabras bonitas, los mensajes, canciones, todo lo que todos me han mandado para ayudarme con mi recuperación. Aunque me veo aquí con mi flor y pintada, es parte de animarme. También a veces no me siento súper bien, pero trato de seguir adelante a un paso nuevo, que es un poquito más lento que antes, porque tengo que aprender cómo aceptar que ahorita no estoy como se dice 100% al 100%, pero ahí voy paso a paso, y a veces tomo 3 pasos para atrás y 2 pasos para adelante y 5 pasos para atrás y 5 pasos para adelante. Pero lo que cuenta es que estoy aquí, y entre más yo pueda decirles a todo lo que está sucediendo, más también me ayuda a mí en esta recuperación. Así es que thank you so much for showing up, for being there for one another, for giving words of support to each other as we still kind of going through this pandemic, but slowly coming out now, getting back to business, getting back to some sort of normalcy, and that we continue to support one another, because you don't know who's out there and how they were affected. And we just need to make sure that there's a kind word, that we give each other grace, that we allow the pace that is needed to continue to move forward. So, adelante a todos ustedes, y aquí estoy para servirle a ustedes, la Super Comadre Claudia. ¿Dónde está mi Super Comadre Liliana?
Hey, yo acá estoy atrás de los controles. Un saludo, comadre.
Gracias, a ti también. ¡Mua! Un beso muy grande, te extraño.
Yo también, ya te quiero ver. Ya te quiero ver en persona.
Yes, I want to give you a big hug. I want to give you a big kiss. I can't wait.
Bueno, desde aquí te lo mando. Muy contenta, comadre, muy contenta contigo, con todos tus seguidores, que la verdad ha incrementado. Ya tienes varios años al aire con radiocristalUSA.com, y estoy muy, muy contenta de que formes parte de este gran equipo, y también con Luis Rodríguez y también el maestro Freddy Méndez, que muy pronto va a estar en vivo también con la Bohemia, así que ya estamos listísimos para no comenzar, pero para continuar con lo que teníamos desde antes de la pandemia.
Uh-huh. ¿Y qué hay de nuevo contigo? ¿Cómo has estado? ¿Cómo está tu familia? ¿Cómo va todo?
Ay, bien, gracias a Dios. Me ha estado yendo bien, gracias a Dios, trabajando mucho, cantando mucho. He estado apoyando el proyecto de Si Yo Puedo, Tú Puedes, de Gabriel Nájera, donde hemos estado yendo fuera del estado. Ya fuimos a Florida y fue genial, la gente bellísima, nos atendieron allá muy bien. Y bueno, pues canté para el público de la Florida, y luego este fin de semana pasado fuimos a Las Vegas, Nevada, y también la gente súper bella. las conferencias de Gabriel Nájera son excelentes, excelentes, así que yo estoy muy honrada de que me haya invitado a su proyecto y sobre todo que también mi hija nos acompañó también a trabajar, pero como fotógrafa, imagínate, o sea, una bendición trabajar con tu familia y con grandes amigos en este gran proyecto. Yo estoy
That
muy
is
bendecida, gracias a Dios, y quiero que esto, que se esparzan esas bendiciones con la gente que nos conoce, la gente que nos apoya, porque es bien bonito apoyar a otros también.
sí, sí, exactly. Y es lo que debemos de hacer, especialmente durante lo que hemos pasado con la pandemia, con COVID, es que para mí a mí me enseñó lo mucho que nos necesitamos unos a los otros.
Claro, sí.
A veces con una palabra, una llamada, un text, así por el internet, por el Facebook messaging, por Messenger, lo que sea, es que la humanidad sigue
Yes.
y nos necesitamos unos a los otros.
Exacto, aunque no lo entendamos ahorita, después vamos a saber por qué.
Yes.
Pero mira, el día de hoy estoy hablando con Estela López y el
¡Ay,
próximo
sí!
martes el próximo martes va a estar en mi programa Dedicatorias, así que están todos invitados también a las 5 de la tarde. Recuerden que los martes estamos grabando los programas en vivo. A las 5 de la tarde, dedicatorias. A las 7 de la tarde, el show de la supercomadre Claudia Macías. Y a las 8 de la noche, el programa de Mundos en Pantalla con Luis Rodríguez, que estuvo padrísimo. La semana pasada estuvo
Ay,
hablando de
sí.
la música en las películas del cine.
Ujú.
Estuvo muy, muy, muy padre. Entonces, bueno, gracias a Dios creciendo con radiocristalUSA.com y más proyectos. Y bueno, invitando a la gente que si quieren tener su programa con nosotros, llamen al 281-258-1427 o hablen directamente con la supercomadre Claudia o conmigo para saber más acerca de nuestros paquetes mensuales o anuales. Ya ves que hay gente que nada más quiere quitarse esa espinita de a ver cómo sería tener mi propio programa. Bueno, lo pueden hacer con nosotros. Aquí nosotros les ayudamos bastante.
Gracias. Pues ya escucharon lo que tienen que hacer. Si tienen un show, tienen una idea, si quieren ser parte de los invitados, también una idea, algo súper padre que compartir, un recurso, aquí estamos también para ustedes. Así es que pónganse en contacto con nosotros y aquí
Claro que
vamos
sí.
a seguirle.
Claro que sí. Bueno, antes de irme acá otra vez a los controles, vamos a agradecerle a Aroma Mexican Artisan Kitchen por patrocinar radiocristalUSA.com y también a Patrón Grill. Muchas gracias por ser nuestros patrocinadores y San Miguel Event Hall también. Y ya se nos unió también la Tapatía de Sugarland. Ya tenemos patrocinadores, estamos muy contentos. Y bueno, ya saben, radiocristalUSA.com te ayuda a promocionar tus productos, servicios o negocios. Llámanos directamente al 281-258-1427. Vamos a poner más información al ratito en pantalla. Y aquí se quedan con el show de la super comadre Claudia Macías, que nos viene a presentar a su siguiente invitada. ¿Cómo se llama, comadre?
Ay, mi super comadre invitada de hoy, ella se llama Carolina Arenas. Carolina Arenas es una gran mujer, emprendedora, tiene un negocio que se llama Meraki Wayu, ojalá que lo dije bien, pero va a venir ella al show y va a hablar, vamos a conocerla, quién es Carolina, qué negocio tiene, quién es ella. Y pues aquí van a tener la oportunidad de conocerla. So I'm super excited to introduce to you my new super comadre. Her name is Carolina Arenas, and there she is.
Hola, hola. Uy, qué elegancia.
How are you doing, first of all?
I'm good. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh my gosh, I met you, our paths crossed about a month ago now, I want to say.
After a year, because I think I had met you before. It was on social media, pero usted sabe, el contacto Instagram when.
Yes, but in person, like live, flesh and blood.
Yes.
That was an amazing connection that we were able to make, and all under one of my sponsors, who is Image Creation Style Purveyor by Alicia. And Alicia has these amazing ways of connecting people, having, opportunities for us to come together and support each other with our businesses, branding, questions, everything and anything. And I had the honor of being able to meet you in the flesh, in person. So with that in mind, I want you to, let's start off with Carolina Arenas. Where are you from, and what is the thing that you want to share the most today? Like
Let's see. So I was born and raised in New York. I'm from Queens, New York. Yes, very, very proud New Yorker.
Okay.
But I've been here in Houston already for about 9 years. So Houston has become home. My kids were born here. I'm first generation. So my mom and my dad, both from Colombia.
Uh-huh.
So I've always been, I guess, como dicen, ni de aquí ni de allá, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have one foot set in Colombia, one foot set in the U.S. All my family is still out there. So, o sea, tengo conexiones colombianas muy, muy bien implantadas en la tierra.
Qué bien, yo no sabía, nunca imaginaba cómo llegaron a Nueva York, o sea, así cuando la familia llegó, se fueron para allá y luego mucho frío, mejor para abajo, para el sur.
No, mi mamá en los 80 se decidió de Colombia irse y tenía una amiga que vivía en New Jersey, entonces se le hizo más fácil a ella estar en Nueva York, pero ella se quedó allá. La que se vino para acá, para Houston, it was me when I got engaged.
Oh, sí, que te trajeron.
Ajá, la fuerza, me tocó.
Well, it's been 9 years, so you're Houston's home. So cuando tú llegaste, when you got here, what was, New York, that's New Jersey, New York. I visited, but I've never stayed longer than a week. So you came down to Houston. Was this your first rodeo? Like literally, like, did you come down and visit and then go back and then come back, or how?
So complete transparency. I came to visit for a Thanksgiving weekend. Y ahí es cuando aprendí, never say never. I told he was my boyfriend at the time. I was like, I would never live here. It just wasn't, major culture shock. It just wasn't who I was. Y como a los 3 años, como te digo, engaged and let's move to Houston, cost of living, we want to buy a house. And I was like, okay, let's go for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been here since, and I don't think I'm going anywhere.
There it is. Cost of living is a lot better down here than up there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love New York. I've been so many times to visit, and I love to visit. I've said I would like to do an internship, maybe an internship in New York where I would come back. Like, I'm gonna come back.
Do it. It's worth it.
I would love to do that. But yeah, I can only imagine. I remember the first time I went to New York, I was walking around. This is how old I am. I was walking around with like a card this big, and it was a subway system.
The Metro card, yeah.
Yes, and I would like look at it like pretend like I did not, like I didn't want to make it obvious I didn't belong.
Oh, like the travel thing, the map.
And you would flip it, and there was the other routes, and then you buy, And then I remember the first time I was trying to get on the subway, I could not understand the guy at the window.
Oh, yeah.
It was hilarious. I was trying to go to the Bronx, and I went up to the window, and you get your little, it was the information, and I thought he was supposed to give information. He didn't look like he wanted to give information. But I went out there with my big old, hi, sir, excuse me, but I want to know, how do I get to the Bronx?
No.
I see, and I'm like, excuse me? Yeah, louder. And I'm like, it's not that I can't hear you.
Half of the time you don't understand.
I'm saying, he goes, you need to take the N or the R. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that was my very first time being there was walking around with those little cards, and
that's how I feel driving here. Yeah. So little secret, I moved to Houston not knowing how to drive.
That's true. So why did you do that? Or how did you learn?
I learned here. A la fuerza me tocó, porque si no.
A golpes, like how hit or no?
No. I was good. It turned out good.
Well, welcome to Houston. It's been 9 years, but now it's like Colombia. No eres de allá, ni de acá, and then New York, and then Houston, de allá. You need to have 4 feet now. One foot here, 1 foot there, 1 foot there. What has your experience in living in New York and being a New York, New York person, citizen, no sé cómo se dice.
New Yorker.
New York, how did that help you in then creating what I want you to focus on too, which is your business? Tell us about your business and how did your experiences, your Colombian roots, your experiences growing up in New York, how did that then lead to the business that I want you to share with the audience?
Sure. So I don't even know where to start. So I went to school for forensic psychology. And then when I moved here to Houston, I obtained my master's in social work from U of H. So I worked with Texas Children's Health Plan for about 7 years. And then after having my second child, I became a stay-at-home mom. Mm-hmm. I guess like I said, the way that you're raised and your roots are very, like, once they're engraved, they're engraved. Yeah. My mom raised me to be a woman that works and is very independent, which is both good and bad. So when I decided to become a stay-at-home mom, I struggled a lot with the idea of not going to work anymore, not having a paycheck that was my own. So that's when I started thinking, okay, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but I know that I have time to do certain things. And I know that I knew that I always wanted to have my own business. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So again, the second year of being a stay-at-home mom, I'm like, okay, no, I need to do something now. So I started thinking about what product I wanted to bring. And I went to Colombia on vacation to visit my family, for them to meet my children. And just being there, the bucket bags that are the mochilas that we have in the business in Meraki YU, they're part of everyday wear in Colombia. And I was there just hanging on my family. Y ahí fue cuando dije, pues, o sea, ¿por qué no traigo las mochilas to Houston and see how they, if si pegan?
Yeah.
And less than honestly, less than 2-3 months, I was already up and running and having the business just started. So I began the business because of that, because I needed just to do something more.
Yeah. Yeah, and when you took that time, your story sounds very similar to mine. You were 2 years, second year of being a stay-at-home mom. You're like, okay, I'm not used to this.
Yeah, it was hard.
It was hard. I remember my kids are back to back. They're only 13 months apart. So I think by the time the second one had her immunizations, I'm like, all right, what are we doing now? Mm-hmm. And I stumbled into education. I'm a teacher. And so I've been in education for many years. And I literally stumbled into becoming an education consultant. I did that for 10 years before I went back full time. But I can see that. I can see. And then for me, what resounded to me right now is when you said I was raised to work and to be independent. And then now you're at home and you're like, I'm not used to this. Mm-hmm. I'm used to my own. And then for me, and I don't know about you, but for me, then I ended up having to deal with, when I did step down or step aside from being a principal of a school to be a mom, I wasn't planning on doing it. I built a daycare at my school because I was like, when I have my kid, I'm going to take them to the daycare. I'm going to work, and all my teachers are going to come and bring all their babies, and they're going to be teachers here. But when they gave me that child of mine, I was like, I think I'm going to stay home for a while. But I didn't last long.
Yeah, it's hard.
But the part that I had to deal with was my mom. Really, when I started working again part-time, was not happy with that. She said, no, I thought you were going to be home and take care of the kid. And I'm like, yeah, but I tried it and it just isn't for me. I needed to, did you feel any of that at all? Or did you feel that support from your family wanting to go into a business? Or did you feel any of them say, well, I thought you were going to be a mom?
I feel like I have the support, but there are times when they do make little comments here and there. Like, for instance, if I want to go to an event, I have the support, but then they would be like, oh, hey, no descuide los niños, or no deje de hacer esto. So I'll share with you too. I struggled a lot. So with my first child, I had the option of staying home. I opted not to, so I kept working. Ja, for my second child, I did say, okay, you know what? There are people out there that would love to do this. Here I have the opportunity. I'm going to take it. I don't regret it at all.
Yeah.
But again, I know that if I hadn't started my business, I was starting to lose myself as the individual that went to school and had a lot more to offer than just being mom. Again, being a mom and being a stay-at-home mom is an amazing job opportunity and a big responsibility. But I know myself, and I wasn't going to do a good job if I didn't put aside time for what I knew that I like to do.
Wow. You said something super important right now. Everything you're saying is important, but something you just said, I always call them words of wisdom, pearls of wisdom. You said, know myself. You knew yourself, and you said, starting to lose myself, and you know yourself. So that is so key. And what you're sharing right now is so valuable, especially within the Latina community, because there are going to be many times when they will be faced with like those comments that you heard and I heard. And I know that they're well-meaning. They come from a good place.
No, of course, yeah.
Of course. But not to affect them to the point where they decide not to continue doing something. Like I like you too. That's why I stuck it out for 10 years. It's a good thing I did, because in coming back full time, that part-time work I did helped slide into different positions, options that I had. I think had I not done that, I think it would have been a lot harder to come back to doing what I do now. But
you have to fill in the gaps so that the day that you do go back into the workforce, let it be, a regular 9 to 5 or your own, you have something to say that you did do. But again, people are going to talk regardless, whether they're family, friends, or strangers. La cosa es no dejar que eso lo afecte a uno, o si lo afecta, que le ayude a mejorar y decir, no, yo soy capaz de hacer las dos cosas, right? As long as you have time management, I think you can do both.
See,
you can do both well.
Exactly. That's exactly the key is time management, tools. And there's so many tools now, especially with this pandemic, so many tools that we can use like this, online, all of the tools that we can use tech-wise to keep us focused on what we need to do with our family, as well as what we need to do with our work and professional life. But so seeing that you started, you came back with the bucket bags. Did you have? I have a question. Did you happen to use a bucket bag like it's a pañalera too, or?
No, I haven't. I always had one just for just again. You go to like el pueblito, hay una artesana.
You have a bucket bag to show. How big is this bucket bag? It sounds like
I have a wristlet. The bucket bags, no, they're all upstairs.
Okay.
I should have brought one down. Sorry.
No, it's okay, because when I hear bucket, I'm thinking I'm going to put a lot of stuff in this bag.
Oh no, well, for most of the part, they hold a lot of items. It's not over, like huge, but it does hold enough items, and it's very sturdy. De por sí, campesinos use it to carry either coffee or their things from going from one place to another. But again, I chose that product because it was a product that it was still allowing me to be a social worker.
Yes.
So I could incorporate my passion of social work into a business.
Okay. Talk about that, because there's a story behind. Tell me about the story behind the name. Why did you choose it? And then I know there's a beautiful story behind the production of these items. So talk about that aspect, the social, I want to say social, I don't want to say social justice, but just that idea that there's people behind this item, real people that live off of, making these beautiful bags and accessories.
Sure. So again, so the name is Meraki YU. I know from a marketing perspective, my best friend's like, it's a hard name to pronounce. So Meraki is a Greek term or slang that means the love and passion or the essence of yourself that you put into the work that you do. It can be, making coffee for like your loved one in the morning, to obviously how the artisans make the bags. And then YU is just in honor of the tribe. Again, the tribe is from La Guajira, which is on the northern part of Colombia, borderline Venezuela. And like I said, they're the Wayu. They are very matriarchal. So la mujer, los niños tienen el apellido de la mamá. Las mamás son las dueñas de las casas. So they're the be all in the community. And weaving, which is the threading technique they have. That's their tradition. And it's learned at a very young age, and it's something that is passed on from generation to generation. There have been a lot of people in the past throughout the years that have gone to La Guajira to purchase these items from them. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there has been a lot of bargaining. So the artisan themselves, they end up losing a lot of money. So thankfully, when I wanted to begin this business, I knew that I wanted to purchase directly from the artisans, opposed to a middleman that would then, cut the cost for them. So thankfully, I was able to meet a gentleman that lives and works in La Guajira. All the communication is done through WhatsApp, and he, like I said, I purchased the items they already have. That's another thing. I'm not a designer. I'm not here telling him, hey, can you design this? Can you do that? I just ask him, hey, what products do you have? And then I just purchase based on what he has.
So tell us a little bit about how can people go and view your items that you have for sale? How can they purchase it? Do you have any upcoming events or pop-up stores that they can come out and meet with you and see your items? They're beautiful.
No, thank you. So we do have a website, www.merakiwayu.com, where you can find the products there, or we have them on Instagram as well, or the Facebook shop. Also, you can DM me if you see a picture. The cool thing, well, it's both good and bad. Our products are only one of a kind, so it's one item per product. Again, it's very good because it's very unique. You'll be the only one that has it. A little tricky when it comes to, production and taking pictures. But again, I think that that's one of the awesome things about our products, that they're unique. And we want you to express yourself through the colors as well, which is why I'm always tagging, let the colors tell your story. The artisans, while they're threading and weaving, it isn't an self-expression. That's why sometimes the colors are very vibrant. Other times the colors are more neutral. But again, it's a self-expression.
So this is art. This is life and art it seems like it's woven into the making of, or threaded or woven or part of the bag. So you're literally not just, you're carrying an item that is telling a story, it sounds like.
Exactly.
So depending on what the person who's creating it or making it, that's what's reflecting. Is that what it sounds like on the item? That's amazing. That's an amazing story. And the whole one of a kind, where you're the only one having that. And then the story behind the women. Have you had a chance to talk to these amazing women that are behind the making of these bags?
So that is my goal. I had my trip planned out, but because of COVID, that was canceled. I'm thankful it did, or else I would have been stuck out there. But my goal is to
making bags too.
My goal is to go there this year. There's an organization called Nueva Life. Thankfully, I was able to connect with them throughout the year of COVID. And they offer, there's 3 pillars that they offer assistance. So it's clean water education, also education with stranded animals. So I'm going to connect with them and hopefully this year, again, travel with them and document everything. Ideally, that's what I want to do. And again, I think in order to have the clear message and really promote what it is that I want to promote, I need to have that aspect and present it to everyone that follows us or is aware of our brand.
You have a beautiful presence right now that we're looking for. The viewers that are watching, you're able to see the the items, the bags, the wristlets.
And the amount of time, guys, the amount of time that goes into a bag. So there's two different types of bag. There's one thread and there's two threads, right? So one threading, it takes about 4 weeks to weave. And the weaving is a lot tighter. And two thread, it's a faster, it's 7 to 10 days, and that's more of a loose weaving. So the 7 to 10 are the ones that you would see more for like tourism. The 4 to 10, the 4 week one, those are the ones that are more, they take longer, so you're not going to see them as much for tourism sale. Even though tourism obviously has gone down. La Guajira de por sí es una área pobre. So like I said, once I have that documentary, or not documentary, but everything documented, I definitely will share it with La Super Comadre primero.
Yes, of course. And I can't wait until for you to go and experience it firsthand. I can only imagine the stories that you're going to come back with directly from the weavers, because if they're weaving a story, if every bag has a story to tell, imagine the person who's making it. I mean, I just saw a picture right now of their hands and the actual tools. I can only imagine the hands and what they feel like and what they look like up close, and everything that's passed through their hands. I can only imagine that when this person, whoever purchases this purse, this bag, is able to take this purse and wear it, but not just wear it because it's a fashion item, but because it comes from another part of the world, and what a great lesson for young children, for students, your kids, my kids, that there are these amazing people that are doing amazing things all around the world.
Como le digo, ya la invito. Usted queda invitada.
Yes. We have to go down there ourselves.
Let's go. I'm ready.
I'm ready.
I have the ticket.
You and bring it to the world, because this is just, especially now with what we've been through and being, it's almost as if, even though we were physically apart, social distanced apart, these mediums that we've been using has kind of brought people a little bit more together, because it forced us to come and see each other, even if it's only through FaceTime or messaging or Instagram messaging, or lo que sea, ¿verdad? Or texting, or todo lo que se pueda hacer. Pero un poquito en español para que nos estén escuchando aquí por radiocristianusa.com. Aquí tengo mi nueva super comadre que se llama Carolina Arenas. Esta señora, esta mamá, esta gran mujer emprendedora, tiene unas bolsas súper bonitas, y no solamente es una bolsa que uno usa, pero es arte, haz de cuenta, arte que tiene una historia. Y quiero que digas un poquito, Carolina, en español, el nombre de tu negocio, cómo se pueden conectar contigo en español, todo, ¿verdad? Y luego un poquito de las bolsas, de los accesorios, ¿se dice accessories? De que lo que tiene Meraki Wayu, ¿lo dije bien? Meraki.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You did it. Okay, entonces Meraki Wayu, como digo, la palabra Meraki es una palabra griega, un término que es la pasión y la esencia que tú le pongas a algo que hagas con amor. Y el Wayu es por parte de ponerle honor a los artesanos de los Wayu de La Guajira, que es de donde compro yo los productos. Como le estaba diciendo yo a Claudia, empecé este negocio por lo que, como trabajadora social, yo quería tener un producto donde me pudiera a mí dar la oportunidad de todavía seguir lo que es el trabajo social. Entonces, las bolsas son hechas a mano por artesanas de La Guajira Wayu, de la tribu Wayu. Se demoran, depende del término, puede ser 4 semanas, o hay otras que son 7 a 10 días. Son productos que solo es uno por diseño. Es algo que se pasa de generación en generación. Ellas esta técnica las aprenden de su familia, de sus madres, abuelas, desde muy niñas. Es un modo, es el modo más grande de ellas obtener, finanzas para poder pagar comida, vivienda. Es una área que de por sí es muy pobre, entonces a mí me da gusto en decirles a ustedes que los productos yo los compro directamente de lo que ya tengan. No les estoy pidiendo a ellas que me hagan productos diferentes. Y no, si están interesados, pueden ir a la página de nosotros, que es www.merakiwayu.com, o en Instagram, en Facebook, o le pueden mandar un mensaje a Claudia. Pero sí, aquí a la orden, y como les digo, Meraki Wayu, si Dios quiere, este año iré a visitar los artesanos y les voy a dejar saber cómo nos fue.
Y así ya lo escucharon aquí, que ya saben cómo conectarse con Meraki Wayu. Busquen aquí por Instagram, busquen y darles un like a la página, se dice, ¿verdad? O sea, un seguidor para que puedan saber dónde y cómo y cuándo de todo lo que tiene que ver con Meraki Wayu. So, you know, I can't believe we're already at the end. It's 7:52. This hour goes by so fast.
That was fast.
Right? We're having fun, right? But I wanted to just, you know, also ask, because I always also, you know, ask of all my guests, especially when you're a businesswoman, a mom, a community leader, because literally you are. This is you're using in a beautiful way your social work background. It's almost like you're taking a social worker approach to this business model of elevating a story, your country, donde vienes, ¿verdad? This matriarch, this form of living that is not something that we're used to. And seeing, you know, hearing everything that you shared, you know, you do so much work. What do you do to fill your oxygen tank? Because you're doing all of this work, you're taking care of family, you're taking care of business. What does Carolina do at the end of the day to take care of you to be able to move on to the next day?
Me tomo como 3 cafés, no.
No soy colombiano, ¿verdad?
No, but in all honesty, so for some people, I think networking or meeting with others might be overwhelming. But for me, I think that's where I get my fix. Yeah. I need to network. I need to go out and así sea, o sea, Claudia, vámonos a tomarnos un café, a hablar, or, oh, there's a networking group event, you know, on Thursday, let me go for like 2 hours. I think that's how I refuel. I'm a people person. I've always, again, I think because I had my family far away in Colombia, I think that's why I value so much having friends or people around me. So no, I think that's what I do to refuel myself. El cafecito, but then time to go out and talk to others.
You're very similar. I'm like you. No, and it's so important. I'm connecting it back to what you said earlier. Know myself. I know myself, and I think that's super important. That you know you, and what great role modeling that is for your own, you know, family members, your kids, you know, nephews or nieces or hijados or kids of friends, to see us, to see you. Know yourself, know your worth, know your value, know your mission, know your goals, know your dreams, and continue moving forward, you know, and knowing how to fuel yourself. I think that's something that as we come out of this COVID pandemic and getting out there, I think, I don't know about you, but, you know, I want to go full throttle. Like, oh, I'm going to go here, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then I've been lately a lot more vulnerable with my recovery of COVID, and I'm excited to go out and do these things, but then I have to pace myself, and that's not. I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Where are we going? Mm-hmm. And if I eat whatever networking event I do or an event that I go to, I have to spend a couple of days, 3 or 2 days before to get ready, like resting, sleeping, not doing much. You know, just being here with the girls at home, or my parents actually helping with the kids. I'll pick them up and take them to eat, you know, and I'll just come home and sleep because I get tired from teaching. And then, you know, spend time with them, reserve some energy for them, but then reserve some energy for the things that bring me joy, which is people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm like you. People fuel me. I am recharged by other people's stories. It doesn't burden me. It actually fuels me. And so, yeah, so super important, super important. So I am looking forward to your documentary.
Yay.
You're going to document. I'm looking forward to the stories that you're going to bring back. And I'm looking forward to just, continuing to see your business grow, and that model of being socially conscious, I guess, socially aware of other people, that they too need to make a living off of the items that we love to purchase and wear and show off. Because everything what you have brought to light are items that have a story. So
yeah, no, and there's so many cultures out there, guys. They're beautiful.
So what final words do you have for the listening audience, maybe a young Latinita who is watching you, in your passion?
My advice.
Yes.
I know it's easy to say go for it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's easier said than done, but I always tell myself, what's the worst that could happen? You tried, it didn't work out, then it's fine, but at least you tried. So that's how I feel I deal a lot of stuff with the job. I mean, with the business. For instance, sending out an email. What's the worst that could happen? Que me digan que no, y ya, okay, that's it. But just go for it. Just go for it and a ver qué pasa. Lo que es de uno es de uno y nadie se lo quita.
I love that.
Bravo, bravo.
Lo que es de uno es de uno.
Oh, okay. Chris Pignon is asking if he orders from the website, how long does it take to get the product?
About 3 days, 3 to 4.
Great.
I do USPS, and it's 3 to 4 days.
Wow, that's good. Now you know, Chris.
Now you know, Chris. And Super Compadre Chris, I want to give him a shout out too. My Super Compadre Chris has been my sponsor for my pictures, for my promo stuff. He's an amazing photographer. And I just want to say thank you for being one of my sponsors as well, and making sure that I am always looking good, even though sometimes I don't feel like I feel good. But he has been able to capture and help me with my best poses.
No.
Ahí va la comadre, ahí va la comadre, vea. Una foto que acaba de publicar.
Oh, yes.
¡Qué elegancia!
Sí, that's me. Gracias, el super compadre.
La página de Chris Pignon.
So, él es el Nor Picture of the Day, y él se encuentra en los estudios que están aquí por Sawyer Park, los estudios por ahí, y Winter Street Studios. Ahí es donde tiene su estudio. You can go over there. You can get your pictures taken.
Nice.
That's me with Andy.
Foto, comadre.
Thank you. Gracias. Ahí estoy con el perrito. Es la mascota del estudio.
Oh, wow. How cute.
He was checking your makeup.
Yes. He was making sure that I was ready for camera time. Sí, pero él...
Hoy si algo para hacer una super comadre discount code.
There you go. That's right. You can let him know.
I'll put it up tonight. No, I'm saying for everyone that's listening or your viewers.
Oh, let's do that. Okay, so get the chat on. Super Comadre discount code will be posted in the chats of this show. So if you order, get your Super Comadre discount code, and I cannot wait to get mine. I'm going to go shopping too.
Use your code to get a discount.
We're going to put everything in the comments here. And I invite you to, Carolina, put all your social media handles in the comments so that when people come back to visit, because this show is going to be here on the Facebook page forever and ever, and people can come back and watch it. So don't forget that the show de la Super Comadre, we record every Tuesday from 7 to 8, por ahí. And the show stays on our Facebook page forever. You can come back and watch it, visit it, share it, follow it, like it.
For life.
Don't forget that the show repeats on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning, and again at 10 o'clock at night on RadioCrystalUSA.com, which is online radio. And we're actually on live right now.
Yes,
so
we are live.
This because you're driving home or you're doing la cena and tienes que tener los ojos en la estufa, you can always listen to us online.
Mira, ahí está. A ver, déjame lo abro. Ahí está.
Ahí está.
You go to your browser, you go Radio Crystal USA, RadioCrystalUSA.com. y te va a aparecer la pantalla morada, dice Radio Cristal, transmitiendo desde Houston, Texas. Y le das clic aquí, you click on it, y ahí están.
And there you go. You can hear us. You can hear us around the world.
Very nice.
You can hear us out all the way to La Guajira. ¿Did I say it right?
Sí, hasta Colombia.
In Colombia. You can hear us in Colombia. You can hear us in Africa. You can hear us in anywhere. Anywhere with internet access, you can listen to the show. So potentially you might have some people coming out buying some stuff.
Y quiero que le mandes un saludo, comadre, al grupo de gente que nos escucha desde Japón, desde el año 2011.
¡Wow!
Desde que empecé la radio en línea, tenemos...
En español, ¿verdad?
En español, sí. Hay unas comunidades en español que viven allá.
Gigante a los de Japón que están escuchando. Un beso y un abrazo desde Houston, Texas. Y un abrazo.
Y a toda la gente que nos ve, recuerda que la página de ella, la página de Carolina, bueno, así se llama Meraki YU, y la pueden ver aquí, y también la pueden comprar desde cualquier parte del mundo, ¿verdad que sí?
Sí. Yo se las mando donde sea.
Así se escriben, miren, Meraki YU, Meraki WAYUU, ¿ok? Para que sepan cómo se escribe la página y la encuentren en Instagram y también la website, que tiene bien bonitas. Yo quiero una bolsa de estas.
Me too.
Esa me encantó. Ay, esta es mi favorita. Hasta ahorita, esta me está llamando mucho la atención. Es mi color favorito.
I don't even know which one. I like literally wristlets. I'm always getting wristlets porque cuando, o sea, so I'm going to look at something I can hang on my wrist and go like this. Porque con mi agua, sure. Con la botella de agua.
Aguardiente.
Carolina, me llamó mucho la atención que dijiste que en esta tribu, ¿es una tribu, dijiste? Es una tribu y dices que es matriarca, entonces allí la mamá es todo, o sea,
sí,
en otras culturas o en otras tribus es el papá, pero aquí en el Meraki Wayu, bueno, perdón, en los Wayus es la mamá.
Sí, hasta el apellido.
El apellido es de la familia, es el de la mamá, no el del papá.
¿Qué?
Ay, eso estaría padrísimo acá.
¿Verdad? ¿Quién hizo las reglas?
Ay, ¿quién inventó esas reglas?
We can always change them, you know. So,
oye, ¿quién los tiene? ¿Quién los tiene 9 meses en el vientre? Ah, ¿verdad? La mamá.
Yeah, for real.
¿Quién es la que da la vida por los hijos? La mamá.
It only makes sense.
Claro.
Oh my God! So I know we have some cenas que dar. I think I would love to darle how would you say, gift one to my super comadre. What do you think?
Sí, claro que sí.
Where would you like to go to my new super comadre? Would you like to go to Sugarland, to Humble, or to Katy?
¿Quién, yo?
Yes.
No. Me quedé más cerca. Uy, eso es con comida y todo. Uy. What is it, Humble?
There's one in Humble, Sugarland.
Yo estoy más para, o sea, no. Yo ni siquiera. I'm by Willowbrook.
You're by Willowbrook.
Entonces, te queda mucho mejor Humble.
Sí.
Okay. And Patron Grill. So you take a Patron Grill dinner for 2.
Oosh, okay.
Yeah.
So don't forget your super comadre code.
Y que se vaya la comadre contigo.
Eso, there you go.
Y ahí se toman el cafecito que tanto estaban diciendo.
Coffee for sure.
Un cafecito.
Yes. And after the show is over, I want you to hang around, Carolina, because we're going to take a group picture, all of us here. So we got to do that. Pero, super comadre Liliana, pues mira, unas últimas palabras de ti, super comadre, a la audiencia. ¿Qué tienes para decirles a ellos? Palabritas, unas palabras.
Claro que sí. Bueno, pues que está muy contenta que ya cumplimos 5 años al aire en radiocristalusa.com. Ya tenemos 5 años al aire y estamos muy, muy felices de que la gente te siga, o sea, te sigan en tus redes sociales, en la página de Radio Cristal USA, y a donde quiera que vas te reconoce la gente. Eso es lo que más me encanta. Eso es lo que me encanta.
Sí, a veces mis hijas me dicen, mami, ¿por qué te andan hablando a esa gente? I'm like, it's because they saw me on the show.
Ya te conocen.
Yes, and it's cool, but I love to share stories, and that's where I get more people to come on because it's all about sharing and it's humanity, and it fuels my soul like the way you talk, Carolina. La gente, estando con gente es lo que me anima y me alimenta. So,
Muy bonito. Muchas gracias por todo lo que haces por nuestra comunidad y a tu comadre nueva. Muchas gracias por haber estado con nosotros.
No, gracias por tenerme y por hacerme practicar el español.
Sí, no, pues sin problema.
Ya se me estaba volando.
Pero el acento no lo pierdes.
No.
Ok, menos mal.
No, está o sea, súper padre conocerte, estar aquí contigo y pues adelante con todo lo contigo, con tu negocio, con Meraki, Wayu y adelante.
Gracias, guys. Aquí a la orden.
Sí.
Muchas gracias. Hasta pronto a todos. Y esto fue el show de la super comadre Claudia Macias. Despídete, comadre.
Sí, bueno, pues a despedirme con ustedes, nomás les agradezco a todos por estar aquí con nosotros aquí en radiocristalusa.com, viendo el show, siguiendo el show, compartiendo el show y también abriendo sus corazones, ¿verdad? Con todo lo que nos han dado, el apoyo, el amor, desde lejos también aquí con esa pandemia. Y ojalá muy pronto vamos a tener una celebración porque ya nos falta una celebración para los cumpleaños del show de mío, ¿verdad? Igual en la radio de radiocristalusa.com. So I'm just super excited to be here and it's a pleasure, it's an honor to be able to share stories. And I'm looking forward to, as we get out there or, more people out there, it's safer that we get a chance to celebrate that all the years that we've been on air with my show and with RadioCrystalUSA.com in general. So I'm excited. So take care of yourself. I always say that before you take care of others and everything and everyone around you. So, and I want you to remind me to do the same as well. So that's your challenge as listeners and audience and fellow comadres Liliana and Carolina to challenge me as well. Because I am really good about sharing and caring for others at sometimes the expense of my health and me. So that's my challenge for all of you is to tell me, hey, you need to preach what you teach.
That's right. We forget about ourselves. We put ourselves at the end of the line.
Yes. Put yourself first, and that's okay. Y es una cosa también que siempre les tengo que recordar a las que están mucho menores que yo, ¿verdad? Comadres menores, que cuídense en ustedes primero. No hay nada mal en decir, I need to look out for me first so I can do everything else I need to do. Because that's not something that I was brought up in. And I don't know about you, Carolina or Diana. We tend to hear, take care of everybody else first and then yourself. Now we need to teach our children and our kids and the younger folks that it's okay to say no. It's okay to say not now. It's okay to say I need to take time to think about it. It's okay to say that's just not for me. It's okay to say I need to take care of me first. Because in taking care of yourself first, then you're able to handle all the other things. So.
And it's also okay can we talk about this in a few moments or in a few minutes or just don't hurry. Don't hurry in anything. No se rompan la cabeza. Tomen todo con calma.
Don't feel pressured or don't feel pressured by these expectations that sometimes you put yourself on. No, but it's not you. Is that you're thinking that they're thinking that.
Yeah, exacto.
Yeah.
Pero bueno.
Pues bueno.
Gracias, comadre, por todo lo que haces por la comunidad y gracias a tu comadre nueva, Carolina. ¿Es la chulada de la semana?
Sí.
Gracias.
Digo chulada y chanclazo, pero con esta pandemia me he enfocado más en la chulada de la semana. El chanclazo usually went to the person that was in the White House, but that was just me, and it has nothing to do with my guest or the radio station. Since that person's no longer in the White House, I don't give out the chanclazo anymore. So I'm not going to focus on la chulada. So my chulada of the semana is going to go to my super comadre guest, Carolina Arenas, for putting herself out there, for doing the work that she does, for being an amazing entrepreneur. So, la chulada de la semana goes to Carolina Arenas.
Gracias.
Una chulada.
Yes. So, super comadre chulada.
Oh, man. Thinking that song. Ay, qué chula te quedas.
Yes.
Merengue, merengue. Ahorita vamos a bailar merengue.
Ya me hizo music. Bueno, adiós a todos.
Wow, gracias, guys. Thank you.
Don't leave yet. We're going to take a picture.
Okay.
Bye.